Chosen one, this moment is not random, it is a divine appointment. You were led here by the Spirit of God because something sacred is stirring in the unseen. Heaven has marked this exact second to speak directly into your life. You stand at the threshold of a supernatural transfer, a release of wealth, wisdom, and favor that has been held in place until now. The delay was never denial, it was alignment. Heaven says the appointed time has come. You are in the very hour where hidden promises begin to take form. What is about to unfold will not come by striving, but by revelation. The doors that once resisted you are about to recognize your authority, and the oil preserved for generations is being poured over your name. Do not scroll away, chosen one, you are being summoned into remembrance. Every loss, every struggle, every unspoken prayer has led to this divine moment. The transfer is not approaching, it is here, and you are the vessel chosen to carry it. Prepare your spirit, lift your hands. What is about to be released will shift not only your finances, but your future. Look at your hands not with doubt, but with awareness. These hands that have carried burdens, built dreams, and wiped tears also carry a secret placed there by heaven before time began. The world calls them lines, but heaven calls them prophecy. That M you see is not coincidence. It is a mark of miracle, manifestation, and mastery. It is not flesh, it is frequency. Heaven engraved it as a signal that you were never ordinary. You carry heaven's code, which is why life never allowed you to blend in and why storms found you early. You are marked for more, and that mark is not symbolic, it is strategic. God never marks what he does not intend to move. This M is your divine passport, proof that destiny recognizes you even when people don't. You have wondered why it felt like others were rising while you were waiting, but heaven was never late, it was aligning. Silence was not rejection, it was refinement. Every delay was a sacred calibration before acceleration. You were trained in unseen rooms, tested in uncelebrated seasons, and molded in moments only God witnessed. He hid you until the soil of your spirit was ready for the blessing you prayed for. I know that silence. I have stood in those invisible seasons, wondering if my prayers were lost between heaven and earth. Whenever I tried to force what wasn't ready, it crumbled. Only when I surrendered did heaven whisper, "You were never waiting on me, I was waiting on you." And now, chosen one, you have matured into the version of yourself that can hold what God is releasing. Your warfare wasn't random, it was recognition. The enemy saw your mark before you did, why pressure grew, why relationships shifted, why doors closed. You were being rooted for a path only heaven could design. Every no protected the yes you were created for. Now the atmosphere is shifting in your favor. Heaven is saying, use what's in your hands. The very things you overlook, your voice, creativity, compassion, endurance, are instruments of breakthrough. Do not underestimate what seems ordinary. God hides miracles in plain sight. Moses had only a staff. David held only a stone. Yet both carried transformation. The same is true for you. Your M is not decoration, it is direction. Points you back to purpose, reminding you that destiny flows through obedience. When God said, "You are engraved on the palms of my hands," he mirrored that truth in you. Your hands are not just physical, they are prophetic. They've built, they've battled, they've blessed, and now heaven declares they are ready to receive. This is your moment of activation. Stop second-guessing your calling. Stop wondering if you're prepared. You wouldn't be hearing this if you weren't. The M is proof that you are already qualified. Everything you lost prepared you. Everything you endured equipped you. Now heaven moves. Chosen one, open your palms and feel the weight of that divine imprint. It reminds you that the miracle you've been praying for is not coming from the outside, it is being released from within. You are the miracle. You are the answer. You are the manifestation. Use what's in your hands. Speak it, declare it, move in it. Heaven has already given you permission. Listen closely. Heaven is saying it's already in motion. That quiet stirring in your chest, that unshakable pull toward change, it is not coincidence. It is confirmation. The energy around you is shifting because divine alignment has begun. You've stepped into the season where what was spiritual becomes visible and what was promised begins to take form. Anointed one, the M on your hand is not just a mark, it is a mission. You carry a heavenly frequency that calls miracles into motion. That is why rooms shift when you enter, why people gravitate toward your peace, your words, and your presence. You don't just speak, you activate. When you move, things rearrange. This is not just energy, it is anointing. Heaven's blueprint encoded it into your DNA before your first breath. You endured long nights and empty seasons because your foundation had to be fortified before heaven could expand your reach. Every disappointment was construction. Every delay was design. You weren't punished, you were positioned. You couldn't see it then, but heaven was writing the chapters your destiny required. I remember walking through my own hidden years, doors closing, people drifting, and clarity fading. But now I know it was divine pruning. The smaller my circle became, the clearer I heard God's voice. Isolation is not always abandonment. Sometimes it is acceleration. Heaven pulls you aside when your anointing is about to multiply. Chosen one, the mark you carry is not ornamental, it is operational. It is heaven's signature declaring, "This one belongs to me." That M signifies miracle because your presence brings healing and hope. It signifies manifestation because what you speak in faith, heaven brings to life. It signifies mastery because you learned to endure storms without losing your spirit. You have been called to build, to teach, to heal, to lead. The fire you walked through did not come to destroy you, it came to purify your purpose. The pressure you felt lately is simply proof of refinement. Gold glows only after the flame. God was never breaking you. He was stretching you to hold the blessing that is arriving. Anointed one, you are stepping into the hour of supernatural transfer. What was withheld is now being released. Finances, favor, opportunities, they are aligning under heaven's decree. The same power that parted the Red Sea and fed multitudes is moving for you now. But this time, you won't chase the blessing, it will find you. Heaven knows your coordinates. The promise knows your name. The warfare increased because your inheritance is near, but do not fear. You are not uncovered. The M on your hand is your covenant reminder. Heaven fights for you. Even when you feel weary, angels are working on your behalf and the spiritual winds are beginning to turn. You are stepping into the rhythm of divine acceleration. Chosen one, pause and breathe. This is your activation moment. Every closed door will soon make sense and every delay will reveal its divine purpose. The same hands that carried sorrow will soon carry substance. What once felt empty will overflow. The miracle is not distant, it's already responding to your faith. Open your hands. The mark was never random, it was always the map. Something sacred happens when you finally recognize that what you carry was never meant to remain dormant. Once you accept that heaven has entrusted you with divine blueprints, everything begins to accelerate. Doors that resisted you begin opening on their own, conversations align, and connections appear because recognition unlocks heaven's release. You have stepped into a frequency where faith and manifestation meet. Anointed one, you have survived seasons of refining that others could not have endured. The fire you walked through didn't burn you, it branded you. That's why your spirit feels heavier now, more aware and more sensitive. You are operating at a higher spiritual voltage, unable to return to who you once were because your DNA has been rewritten by destiny. You are the evolved version of yourself, forged by endurance and purified by purpose. Every trial sharpened your discernment, every heartbreak gave you clarity, and you no longer chase temporary validation because heaven has stamped your identity in permanence. The M on your hand is a signature of ownership, heaven's declaration that this one carries my image. That means your words carry weight, your presence carries peace, and your obedience carries power. I remember my own awakening, the moment I understood that every disappointment had been a disguised direction. I asked God to remove storms, but He taught me to walk through them. That's when I learned that divine favor isn't comfort, it's capacity. And the anointing grows not when life gets easier, but when you become unshakable. Chosen one, heaven is calling you to rise in awareness. You are not waiting for permission, you are walking in prophecy. Your hands are not merely tools, they are transmitters. When you pray, write, build, or comfort, something shifts in the unseen. You no longer need to force outcomes, you magnetize them through alignment. The M was never meant to make you different, it was meant to make you decisive. You are entering a season where what you touch multiplies. Businesses, ideas, relationships, and opportunities will begin to respond to your presence. Not because of luck, but because of divine law. Heaven honors what it marks. Your waiting was not wasted, it was weaving. Heaven has been stitching miracles into the fabric of your days, preparing to unveil them in perfect sequence. Those who once overlooked you will witness your elevation, not for pride, but for purpose, because your rising will remind others of their own mark. You are a mirror of awakening. Listen closely. You are standing under an open heaven. Angels have gone ahead to prepare what comes next. Finances are being redirected, delays are dissolving, and what once took years will soon take moments. You are walking in divine acceleration, but acceleration requires stability, so remain grounded in gratitude, humility, and faith. Chosen one, the power in your hands is not symbolic, it is functional. You have the authority to shift atmospheres, bless what others overlook, and resurrect what others call dead. Heaven has given you permission. It is time to use it. Stretch your hands. Speak life and move in faith. You are not merely part of the story, you are the continuation of it. Chosen one, the hour you've been waiting for is no longer ahead of you. It is here. Heaven's alignment is complete, and the spiritual blueprint that has been hidden within you is beginning to unfold. The mark you carry, the M, has always been your activation key, heaven's reminder that you were never meant to live as a bystander to miracles. You are the miracle, the vessel through which heaven intends to move. Anointed one, you can feel it, can't you? The air around your life feels charged, your spirit restless yet ready. That's not anxiety, it's acceleration. The realm of the spirit is pushing you forward, urging you to step into authority. The time of hiding has expired. The delay has served its purpose. The tests have proven your faith. And now heaven whispers, move. Every seed you sowed in faith is coming to harvest. The prayers you thought heaven forgot are returning as blessings. What seemed withheld was never denial, it was divine timing. You weren't ready before, but now your capacity matches your calling. You've been trained to carry weight without breaking. Heaven's abundance will not crush you, it will confirm you. I felt that shift before the moment when everything invisible starts to respond. I remember walking into rooms that once felt impossible, watching doors open no human could unlock. It wasn't because I worked harder, it was because I aligned with heaven's rhythm. When you stop chasing what's already ordained, it starts chasing you. That is what's happening for you now, chosen one. You have entered the season of supernatural transfer. Heaven is releasing what has been stored for years: resources, wisdom, relationships, and opportunities. You will encounter moments where favor seems almost unfair, where things fall into place effortlessly. That isn't luck, it's alignment. When obedience meets timing, miracles manifest naturally. You have been faithful with little, and now you are being entrusted with much. But remember, every elevation requires deeper stewardship. Heaven is not blessing you for comfort, but for contribution. The wealth, influence, and wisdom coming into your hands are meant to build the kingdom, not just your image. Stay alert. As this new season unfolds, distractions will attempt to dilute your focus and counterfeits will appear, dressed as opportunities meant to pull you off your divine path. Discernment is essential now. Let peace be your compass. If it brings pressure before purpose, it's not from God. This is not the moment to shrink back in fear. The same power that raised Christ operates within you, meaning nothing can block what God has released. The moment you choose full obedience, heaven deploys provision. Every door, every connection, every miracle assigned to you will respond to your faith. Chosen one, stretch your hands again and feel that pulse, divine energy awakening purpose. You carry light that breaks cycles and authority that unlocks chains. The mark on your palm is not decoration, it is declaration. It announces that you belong to heaven's army, chosen to shift nations and restore divine order. You are not stepping into chance, you are stepping into prophecy. What comes next will confirm every prayer you've ever whispered. The waiting season is over. Heaven's window is open. The release has begun. Chosen one, heaven is moving with precision now. Every thread of your story, every delay, disappointment, and detour is weaving into something divine. You were never behind, you were being built. What looked like waiting was actually synchronization. You were being tuned to heaven's frequency so that when the release arrived, you would recognize it instantly. Anointed one, hear this clearly, the transfer has already begun. The same hands that once wiped tears will soon hold abundance. The same heart that endured heartbreak is about to overflow with joy. God did not forget your labor, your sowing, and your sacrifices. Nothing has gone unnoticed. The M on your hand is heaven's receipt declaring that your season of restoration has arrived. You've walked through enough wildernesses to understand that not every loss is a defeat. Some were redirections, divine edits rewriting your destiny in higher ink. The storms you survived were never meant to drown you. They were meant to baptize you in boldness. That's why you've emerged stronger, wiser, and more anointed. You've learned to stand still and trust when everything felt uncertain. That kind of faith is rare and heaven rewards it. I remember my own turning point, the moment I realized obedience was the true breakthrough. I stopped asking God for signs and began moving like I already carried them. That's when miracles became normal. doors opened before I knocked, and provision appeared without panic. Heaven doesn't respond to noise. It responds to alignment, and that is what's happening to you now, chosen one. Your alignment is producing acceleration. What once took years will now take weeks. Delays are dissolving because divine timing has matured. You're no longer chasing opportunities are finding you. You've become magnetic to miracles because your spirit finally mirrors heaven's rhythm. But understand this, favor is not random, it is strategic. God is entrusting you with influence, and that requires purity of intention. The wealth being released isn't only financial, it's spiritual authority, clarity, and wisdom. When you speak, people will listen not because of your voice, but because heaven's vibration moves through your words. That is why warfare intensified. The enemy always amplifies chaos before your confirmation. But take heart, your victory has already been signed in heaven. You were sealed before you were sent. The fire you endured didn't weaken you, it forged your authority. Every no created space for God's yes. Every wall that blocked you became a setup for revelation. You have entered the era of divine momentum. Miracles will multiply as you move in obedience. The more you speak life, the faster heaven responds. The more you act in faith, the quicker favor finds you. The supernatural is not distant, it dwells in you. The M on your palm is your reminder that you are both conduit and carrier. What flows through you will bless not only your household but generations to come. Chosen one, pause here, take a deep breath. Heaven is closer than it has ever been. You can feel it, the peace beyond understanding. The subtle shift in the air, the knowing that something irreversible is unfolding. This isn't hype, it's holy. You are standing in your appointed hour. Step forward, use the mark, activate the promise. And as you move deeper into this revelation, know this, heaven is not just giving you blessing, it is giving you blueprints. What is being released now is not temporary relief, but generational strategy. The M you carry is not just a symbol, it is a spiritual instruction manual. It represents miracle, manifestation, and mastery. And now these three forces are converging in your life, shaping you into a vessel heaven can trust with more, anointed one. The breakthrough you've prayed for is not hovering somewhere far beyond reach, it is encoded in your obedience. Heaven has always moved through partnership, not passivity. When you act on what God whispers, creation responds. The atmosphere bends in favor of faith. That is why you cannot afford to ignore the tug within you any longer. That persistent idea, that quiet nudge towards something new, it's not imagination, it's instruction. I remember when God told me to move even when everything around me looked impossible. The resources weren't ready, the people weren't supportive, and the timing made no sense. But I obeyed anyway. And in that obedience, the impossible began to open. What I lacked, God multiplied. What I didn't know, He taught. And what I thought I lost, He replaced with something eternal. That is how heaven works. It doesn't reward comfort, it rewards courage. Chosen one, heaven is calling you to that same bold faith. The reason the pressure increased is because your calling is expanding. The doors that once led to small blessings are now too narrow for what God intended to give you. You are being stretched to hold supernatural capacity. Old patterns no longer fit because you cannot shrink into what heaven has outgrown. The divine transfer unfolding in your life is not merely about receiving wealth, it is about wielding it with wisdom. You are being entrusted with resources that will impact nations, heal families, and rebuild broken systems. The way you steward this next level will determine how long the windows of heaven remain open. Stay grounded in gratitude and remembers, the mark on your palm is not for show, it is for service. Anointed one, there is power in your hands, literal, spiritual, generational power. When you lift them in prayer, the heavens shift. When you create, build, write, or give, heaven partners with your actions. This is why the enemy attacked your confidence, because once you understood your authority, deception could no longer reach you. The time of questioning whether you are chosen is over. The evidence is written all over your life. Every trial you survived, every storm that failed to drown you, every battle that should have broken you but didn't, each one is proof of divine selection. You have been prepared for this hour. You are not an accident of faith. You are a design of destiny. So stand tall, chosen one. The oil is flowing. The vision is sharpening. The supernatural is no longer a promise, it is a presence. What hovered above your life is now descending. The moment you lift your hands and say, "Yes, Lord," the atmosphere shifts because heaven responds to agreement, never anxiety. Chosen one, lift your hands right now and feel it. That is not mere energy, it is activation. The same spirit that spoke light into darkness is breathing through you. Your entire being is awakening to purpose. What once drained you will now deliver you. The M was never a mystery, it was a map, and now you are walking it. The time for wondering is over. This is the hour of walking in awareness. You no longer need to question what's within you. Heaven has confirmed it through every miracle that followed your endurance. You survived storms that would have broken most, and that resilience is the proof of your divine design. You were built for pressure because pressure reveals the power inside you. Anointed One, the M you carry is no coincidence. It is the mark of a mantle. It means you've been chosen to build what others only dream of, to stand where others fall, and to finish what others began. You are the bridge between generations, carrying ancient wisdom wrapped in modern fire. That is why your journey has felt so intense. Heaven has been calibrating you for influence too pure to be corrupted by applause or approval. You've learned how to move in silence until heaven says now, and that moment, chosen one, is now. You are stepping into divine acceleration, where what took others years will unfold suddenly for you. God has trusted you with time redemption. The seasons that felt stolen are returning with interest. The harvest is heavy because the sowing was sacred. Every tearful prayer planted something eternal, and every quiet act of obedience became an invisible investment. Now heaven is cashing it in. I've lived this myself. I once felt unseen, unheard, undervalued. I worked, prayed, waited, yet nothing moved until suddenly everything shifted within a single week. Not because I changed strategy, but because heaven changed seasons. The same will happen for you. Your obedience has matured into manifestation. You are walking into rooms you didn't apply for, receiving calls you never expected, and placing your hands on doors already unlocked. Remember this truth: divine acceleration doesn't come through striving, but through surrender. You don't need to force what's already written. You only need to align. Heaven has already gone before you, clearing the path, removing resistance, preparing divine helpers who recognize your light. That is why you've been feeling pressure and peace, the two signs that heaven is near. Anointed One, the mark on your hand is not merely a symbol of blessing but of responsibility. You are now accountable for the light you carry. People will look to you for strength, guidance, and truth, but you were never meant to carry that weight alone. Heaven never sends calling without covering. You are surrounded by angels, protected by purpose, and backed by divine order. So when opportunities feel too big, don't shrink step. When blessings feel too grand, doesn't question receive. This is your appointed moment, your Kairos hour where destiny and diligence collide. Every move you make from here will echo into eternity. You are no longer simply chosen, you are commissioned. Lift your eyes, chosen one. The signs are everywhere. Numbers, dreams, confirmations. These are not coincidences, but coordinates guiding you toward your next divine intersection. You are closer than you have ever been. The gates of favor are opening, and what walks through will change your story forever. Take this moment and breathe. You've crossed the invisible line between preparation and manifestation. Heaven has already signed your release. The tests that once terrified you now testify for you. Every sleepless night, every hidden tear, every silent prayer has built an altar in the unseen, and now the fire of fulfillment is descending upon it. You've stepped into a realm where miracles are not rare, they are routine. Anointed One, the mark on your palm has always been a covenant reminder, heaven's way of saying, I'm still with you. You were never forsaken, even when you felt forgotten. Every moment of silence was God watching to see if you would trust Him when nothing made sense, and you did. That's what makes this moment sacred. Heaven rewards the faithful, not the flawless. You stayed when others walked away. You believed when logic said it was over. That faith has activated divine recompense. This is the hour where the first become last and the last rise first. Hidden ones are being elevated, and voices once ignored are being amplified. Heaven is calling the chosen into visible authority, not for ego but for impact. Your light was never meant to flicker in corners. It was meant to ignite nations. I've seen these sudden shifts before: one day obscurity, the next opportunity. And through my own acceleration, I learned that promotion without preparation becomes pressure. That is why God took His time with you. He didn't forget you, He was forming you. You had to learn to move with wisdom instead of haste, to understand that wealth without stewardship destroys and favor without humility fades. Now you are ready. Heaven can trust your hands, chosen one. The supernatural transfer is already active. Finances influence, and open doors are being rerouted into your atmosphere. But the true treasure is not in what you receive, it is in what you release. You have been chosen to channel heaven's abundance into earth's need. Every resource that flows to you is meant to flow through you, which is why your heart had to be purified before your hands could be filled. Anointed One, Remember, your power does not come from striving. It comes from stillness. The same presence that split seas and silenced storms now moves quietly within you. When you pray, speak, or even take one step in faith, the heavens respond. You are a living intercession and answer to generations of prayers. Your existence proves prophecy never dies. It waits for the right vessel to awaken. So awaken fully. No more hesitation, no more shrinking. The M on your hand is not a mystery, it is a mandate. Rise in authority. Speak with boldness. Create with conviction. Heal with compassion. Wherever you go, atmospheres will adjust, chains will break, and people will remember who they are because they encountered you. Chosen one, this is the moment heaven has been waiting for, the unveiling of God's masterpiece in motion. Lift your hands and feel destiny pulsing through your veins. You are no longer chasing miracles. You are carrying them. Walk forward. The world is waiting for your remembrance. Heaven has already declared it finished. And as this message concludes, remember, heaven reveals nothing without reason. You were not led here by curiosity, but by divine timing. The M upon your hand is more than a mark, it is a living covenant, a reminder that you were chosen to move when others hesitate, to rise when others retreat, to believe when the world doubts. Anointed one, this is your Kairos moment. The supernatural transfer has already begun. What was withheld is being released. What was delayed is being delivered. You are no longer standing on the edge of breakthrough, you are standing in it. Every promise that hovered above your life is now placing itself into your hands. The season of silence has turned into sound, and heaven is speaking your name across dimensions. Walk forward with reverence, but also with holy boldness. The anointing on your life does not fade, it flows. Guard it, use it, speak with faith, create with conviction, lead with love. Wherever your hands move, let heaven move with them. And if this message stirred your spirit, declare it now. I am activating what God placed in me. Let that be your agreement with heaven. Stay aligned, stay available. The flow has begun and you are in it. Chosen one, the mark is alive, the mandate is real, and the movement has already started. Go now in faith.